Welcome to all of you. Today's my topic name climate change and disaster management in India. Myself, Dr. D T Sakhare, Assistant Professor and Research Guide, UG, PG and Research Center, Department of Chemistry, Shivaji Arts, Commerce and Science College, Kannad, District, Aurangabad. Introduction. In common uses, climate change described global warming, ongoing increase in global average temperature, and its effects on Earth climate system. Climate change in a broader sense, also including various long-term changes to Earth climate. The current rise in global average temperature is more rapid than previous change, and it is primarily caused by human burning fossil fuels, fossil fuel use, deforestation, and some agriculture and industrial practices increases the atmospheric concentration of greenhouse gases, notably carbon dioxide and methane. Greenhouse gases absorb some of the radiation that leaves Earth after it warm from sunlight. Larger amounts of these gases trap more heat in Earth's lower atmosphere, causing global warming. Due to climate change, deserts are expanding while heat waves and wildfires are becoming more common. Increased warming in the Arctic has contributed to melting performance, glacial retreat, and sea ice loss. Higher temperatures are also causing more intense storms, droughts, and other weather extremes. Rapid environmental change in mountain, coral, reefs, and the Arctic is forcing many species to relocate or become extinct. Even if efforts to minimize future warming and successful, some effects will continue for centuries. These include ocean heating, ocean acidification, and sea level rises. Now, the types of climate change. There are approximately five main types on Earth: tropical, dry, temperature, continental, polar. Now it is indicated in this earth, that is the, it is the color, that is the tropical, it is the dry, it is the temperature, and it is the continental, and it is the polar. That is the types of climate change. Main effect of climate change. Observed temperature rises. Multiple independent instrumental data sets show that the climate system is warming. The 2011 to 2020 decade warmed to range average 1.09 temperature compared to the pre-industrial baseline, that is 1815 to 19. Surface temperature are rising by about 0.2 degrees Celsius per decade, with 2020 reaching a temperature of 1.2 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial era. Since 1950, the number of cold days and nights has decreased, and the number of warm days and nights has increased. Now it is a graphical representation of, that is the raises the temperature. Now, greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are transparent to sunlight and thus allow it to pass through the atmosphere to hit the earth's surface. The earth then emits thermal radiation and greenhouse gases absorb a portion of this radiation. This absorption slows the rate at which heat escape into the trapping heat near the earth's surface and warming it over time. Before the industrial revolution, naturally occurring atmosphere, the greenhouse gases caused the air near the surface to be about 33 degrees Celsius warmer than the would have been in their absence. While water vapor nearly 50% and cloud nearly 25% are the biggest contribution to the greenhouse effect. They increase as a function of temperature and are therefore feedbacks. On the other hand, concentration of gases such as carbon dioxide nearly equal to 20%, troposphere, ozone, CFCs and nitrous oxide are not temperature dependent are therefore external forcing. Now this is the identification of gases, that is the increases, more increase the gases, that is the carbon dioxide. Di- Disaster management. Disaster is defined by the United Nations is a series distribu- disruption of the function of a community of society which involves widespread human, material, economics or environmental impacts that exceeds the ability of the affected community or society to cope using its own resources. Disaster management is how we deal with the human, material, economic, or environmental impact of said disaster. It is the process of how we prepare for, respond to, and learn from the effect of major failures. Though often caused by nature, di- disaster can have human origin according to the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies of disaster occurs when a hazard impacts on valuable people. The combination of hazardous vulnerability and inability to reduce the potential negative consequence of the risk result in disaster. Now, val- vulnerability plus hazardous by capacity is equal to disasters. Natural disasters are armed conflict have marked human existence throughout history and have always caused peaks in mor- mor- mortality or morbidity. This article examines the advances in the humanitarian response to public health over the past 50 years and the challenges currently faced in managing natural disaster and armed conflict. Types of disaster. Types of disaster. Natural disaster, according to the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, natural disaster are naturally occurring physical phenomena caused either by rapid or slow onset event that have immediate impact on human health and secondary impact causing further death and suffering. These disaster can be geophysical, example that is the earthquake, landslides, tsunami and volcanic activity. Another types that is the hydrological, the examples avalanches and floods. Third one is climatological, example extreme temperature, droughts and wildfires. Another types that is the meteorological, example cyclone and storm wave surge. And last one that is the biological, example disease epidemics and insect animal flus. Man-made disaster, man-made disaster as viewed by the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent societies are events that are caused by human which occur on or close to human settlements, often caused as a result of environmental or technological emergencies, and this can be included that is the environmental environmental degradation, pollution, accidents, example industrial, technological and transport usually involving the production, use or transport of hazardous materials. Complex energies. Some disasters can result from multiple hazards or more often to a complex combination of both natural and man-made causes, and which involves a breakdown of authority, looting and attack on strategic intelligence, including conflict situation and war. These can be included that is the food security, epidemics, armed conflict, displaced populations. According to ICRC, those complex emergencies are typically characterized by extensive violence, displacement of population, loss of life, widespread damage to both societies and economics, need for large-scale humanitarian assistance across multiple agencies, political and military constraints which impact or prevent humanitarian assistance, increased security risk for humani- humanit- humanitarian relief workers, pandemic emergencies, pandemic from Greek that is the pan all and demos people is an epidemic in infection disease that has spread across a large region which can occur to the human population or animal population and may affected health and disturb services leading to economic and social cost. It may be an unusual or unexpected increase in the number of cases of an infection disease which already exists in a certain region or population, or can also refer to the appearance of a significant number of cases of an infection disease in a region or population that is usually free from that disease. Pandemic emergencies may occur as a consequence of natural or disaster, man-made disaster, and these have included the following epidemics: Ebola, Zika, avian flu, cholera, dengue fever, malaria, yellow fever, coronavirus disease, that is COVID-19. Now conclusion, climate change possesses a growing threat to sustainable development. The expected effect of climate change could seriously compromise the ability of the agriculture sector to feed the world and severely undermine process towards eradicating hunger, malnutrition and poverty. Action is urgently needed to prepare the agriculture sector for the prospects of rapidly changing environmental conditions, as the agriculture sector are partly responsible for an accumulation of greenhouse gas greenhouse gas greenhouse gas in the atmosphere that are responsible climate change. It is also important to reduce agriculture emission even without climate change. World agriculture and food security are facing daunting challenges. Disaster management is how we deal with human, material, economic or environmental impacts of said disaster. It is the process of how we prepare for, respond to and learn from the effect of major failure. Though often caused by nature, disaster can have human origin. Emergency management, also referred to as disaster management, means preparing for potential climates and responding to them as quickly, strategically, and effectively as possible. Thank you. Thank you very much.